Is for us to understand what is business positioning, and then subsequently to discuss the idea of market segmentation and positioning. Then we move on. Yeah, the objective is to understand the development of core competencies, and lastly, for us to appreciate the process of strategic business positioning. Now, before I start the webinar series, maybe you actually can have a look at the slide that I'm actually presenting. So most of us, are quite aware of the different businesses or different brands that actually is on the market in Malaysia at the moment. We consider Jaya Grocer versus Maidin. We consider BMW versus Mercedes. We consider iPhone versus a Samsung. So what does this all mean in business? Yeah, maybe then what you would say that there are other things like are we discussing business positioning, or are we discussing brand positioning and whatnot? But what I'm actually wanted to touch on, and I wanted to actually share with you, is that business positioning and brand positioning is closely related with one another. Yeah, as you can actually refer to the slides, I can share with you that one particular product or services will actually provide different values to a particular customer. And when we talk about business positioning and brand positioning, we always talk about what do we want to be known for? Yeah. In fact, this is something that very critical, very important for us to answer, to be able to answer the question of how do we want people to look at us? How do we want people to see us as a brand, as a person, or as a business? So when we talk about positioning, it can be you as a person, it can be you as the owner of a business, or it can be your brand that actually you wanted to actually to promote. Yeah. So moving on, what are the learning sequence? Yeah, I'm going to share with you the learning sequence. The first one is for us to be able to answer why do we need a position? Why do we want to position ourselves, our businesses? The second one that I'm going to actually discuss today is on the strategic positioning and segmentation, right? What is meant by strategic positioning, and how do we do market segmentation, right? Then move on to the core competencies, our value proposition. Lastly, how does business positioning impacting our business performance and our sustainability of the business? Now, I would actually ask probably you a question that you can answer on your own, all right? Why do you prefer a restaurant versus another restaurant? You know, we do have what we call preferences, right? So the question is, why do we prefer certain product or certain brand or certain businesses to the other businesses, although they are actually serving or actually providing the same product and services? So these are key questions, key question for a business to answer. It is critical because according to Michael Porter, you cannot be stuck in the middle. You must define who you are serving, what do you want to be as a business entity or as a brand, and what are the value of that business or the brand? What do you actually provide to your customer? So when we talk about position, we need to be able to clearly define our product, our services, as well as we need to maintain relevancy. You must be relevant, the product must be relevant, your services must be relevant, and the customer must be able to see, right, the value that you are putting in to them. Yeah. So when we talk about a position, we always talk about not just the brand, not the value of the product, but then again, how do you see yourself as a business entity or as a person, right? So it's always about focus, right? It's always about knowing who you are. It's always about knowing who is your customer. So those people that you frequently visit, those restaurants that you frequently visit, they have got probably their own. This is what we used to call loyal customers or frequent guests, frequent customers who frequently go there and actually dine or having lunch and whatnot. So those each of those businesses, they have got something of a value to us as a customer. So that is why I say that in terms of a position, a business position or a brand position, we need to be clear. We need to be clear. The customer need to know what we are offering. Okay, what we are offering, and we cannot be fuzzy. You know, people will get confused. And when you are fuzzy, your customer will be confused. You yourself will be confused. And then your product must be relevant and being perceived as bringing in value to the customer. Again, distinctive. Distinctive means actually you have a different, you manage to portray differences. Between you and your customer. Now, one more example, probably, I think it's something that is local. In Kampung Baru, if you are from Kuala Lumpur, you may actually aware that there are two restaurants together, nasi lemak antarabangsa versus nasi lemak, I think, Wanjo, or something like that. So, each of those nasi lemak stall, they have got different distinctive, what we call it, offering. Yeah. Why do we go to antarabangsa, nasi lemak antarabangsa? Why do we sometimes go to nasi lemak Wanjo? Because we are looking for something that is relevant to us, right? It's not about it's not about changes in taste or whatnot, but then it is more of relevancy. Yeah. So why do we need to have position? Because we want to be different from our competitor. Yeah? If we are just the same as our competitor, then we are playing with luck. You need to be specific in terms of your offerings. We need to be specific in terms of our offering. The client should know what we are offering them. Right? So why a lot of businesses fail? Because they fail to create the distinctive features or benefit. Right? They are just standing among the crowd, nothing more than just another business entity. So why do we need positioning? It's about sustainability. If you cannot differentiate yourself, and if you cannot sustain those differentiation, right, you will have less potential for sustainability. Yeah. Now, these are the things. These are the things that actually, why do we need positioning? And we ask ourselves, as a person, as a business owner, as a business manager, what is different about us compared to the other person or comparing to the other business entity? What are the differences? Why do people come to us? So these are all positioning. Yeah? When we talk about positioning, and we need to be strategic. And a lot of people talk about strategic, but then again, it has been something that is, use of I call it prostitution of words. Yeah, strategic. Now, strategic means a longer term. Right? It's something that take longer, deeper, and higher. It has to be longer, it has to be deeper, and it has to be higher, above from the ground, so that you have a helicopter view, as well as you'll be able to see the next horizon, but you also be able to look into, right, in depth, right, of the potential and the threats. Yeah? So when we talk about strategic positioning and segmentation, we talk about our position as a business entity or as a person. And some of us here do provide professional services. We do own a company that provide products. Right? We have a company that provide a lot of multiple products. Yeah. But then again, have we asked ourselves, what is our branding? Right? What do we want to be known for? All right, what do we want to be known for? All right, this is the first question that we as a business owner or business manager, entrepreneur, need to actually answer to our own self. All right, what is the brand that we want to? What is the brand that we want to create, and what does that business or brand stand for? Just like we are talking about Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Honda, Toyota. They have a brand, and each of those brand, each of those business stand for something. When we talk about BMW, MSD, we talk about success, maybe. Yeah, maybe lah, we will talk about Toyota, Honda, we talk about, we talk about quality. So the thing is, we as a person, when we talk about, let's say, we talk about Adnan, or we talk about Ramu, we talk about Cheng. So each of these, actually, what does it tell you? You as a person, what do you want to portray? So this is a question number one. The second question is, actually, once you have answered that question, you need to know who is your target market. Right? Who is your target market? So we have probably people who actually consult people on unit trust. We have bankers selling their product and services and whatnot. We even Maybank have got various. You have personal financial advisor for the retail market. You have your relationship manager for the privileged market. You have the personal banker for the premier banking. So those are the layers that we create from our brand. As those are the layers that we create for our brand. But anyway, if we ask ourselves, okay, I have got a brand. Who is my target markets? Right? So it's important for you to understand who is your target market. Then you ask yourself again, what do they want from me? I'm offering this product, and how can I differentiate that product? Right? Once you have known that, the next one is that you need to answer the next question of, what does your competitor do? Who is your competitor? And how the brand actually have impact on your business? What is the difference? Contoh, right? Again, nasi lemak antarabangsa, nasi lemak wanjo. Alright, what are the difference between the two brands? The customer have got different perception, right? The customer have got different value that they want from each of the businesses. So the question is, once you create your branding and what it stands for, then the next one that you need to answer is, right? Who is your customer and what they want from you? The next one, quickly. Who is your competitor and how they actually different in terms of your brand? What is differences? And sometimes I wanted to share. if some of you may go to service center, car service center, or actually accessory store. This is a very good analogy, right? Accessory store. Once you are there in an accessory store, where I stay, yeah, we have several rows of roads who actually selling the same product and services. Yeah? They're selling the same product and services. But then again, the question is, what make them different from each other? 15 shop in one row. Just like us, probably, just like us selling one product and services, all right, selling the same product and services. What is the difference between us and the other party? All right. So that's the next question. Yeah. Then the next question would be, you understand your customer. How will you meet the customer need? This is actually positioning today. You know your position, you know your product, you know your customer. The thing is, the customer have got expectation, and how do you actually meet that expectation? And these are key questions. And I bet you, in my experience working with many entrepreneurs, that they have failed to answer frankly. Right? They fail to answer because they actually do the business because they wanted to do the business. They know who their customer, but then they fail to actually, most, I'm not sure all, they actually fail in terms of their branding and what make them different from the rest. And what make them different from the rest. So then again, this is important questions. So when we talk about businesses and brand is subset of business. Now, remember, one company maybe have got one brand, but the other company have got many brands. I like to cite one example. Hilton. Hilton is known for their 5-star hotel, but they also embark into another branding that cater for a different market segment. Orchid, I think Hilton Garden, they cater for a different market segment. So, doesn't mean that one company only have one brand. They can have several brands. Yeah, but then again, what actually is the main mistake, or the mistake that people do, is that they tend to have different brand, but then again, people have actually confused themselves. They confuse themselves, they confuse their customer because their branding is not consistent. Right? Then again, you can actually answer this. Do you think that Hilton actually did a good job in terms of having a brand that cater for the lower market? These are questions because it will be contradicting. Yeah, it is contradicting. One brand actually for the high end, then you have another brand for the low end. So it's contradicting. People get confused. People be skeptical. Right? So there is no actually focus in that area. So this is about positioning and about market positioning and brand positioning. But then again, you can actually argue that Mercedes, though they are high-end brand, they also have sub-brands. Right? These are the models that you actually you have the A class, the C class, the S class. You know, A meant for certain market segment, C meant for certain market segment, B is meant for certain market segment, and you have S for the higher end. So then Shairul, you say, is it not confusing? No, it's still not confusing as because why? They are actually maintaining their segment on the high-end part. You know, not many people can buy a Mercedes, even it is the cheapest, actually, maybe the cheapest model. It's still a few $100,000. Right? So within that market segment, they actually fragment the market segment. So as a business person, all right, as a business person again, this is something that we need to look into. What is our brand and what is our actually customer? Can we further segmentize or fragmentize our customer? Yeah. So this is the thing that we need to do, and we need to relook, and we need to investigate, and we need to do research on that. Now, so you have your brand. Remember, yeah, the theory says that, right? The theory says that they are according to business theory. I just want to touch the theory because why from theory become application. Yeah, you need to understand the theory, then it can become application. People will buy from you if you are the cheapest in the market. One, or secondly, if you are different from the rest. Right? If you are cheapest or you are different, then people buy from you. That is the general rule of business strategy, right? But then again, they are what we call distinction. They are distinction, right? The theory also say that you can segmentize your market to create a niche market. Right? You can segmentize your market to create a niche market on your own that focus on certain benefit or values, right? Certain benefit or values, yeah. And but then again, this is a very expensive endeavor. It is very expensive because you need to have a lot of marketing effort. We as a business person, entrepreneur, we can't actually, especially the COVID area, in COVID now in COVID apa tu kita panggil pandemic. It is almost impossible for us to spend money for advertisement. Right? So, assuming that you run a unit trust consultancy, right? You need to understand that in terms of the market segment, there are few market segments as well. So the thing is, the focus is who is your market segment, because there is a process of segmentation. Then we go into targeting, and then we position ourselves. Because why position? Because we want to be different from the person next door. Just like the accessory shop, because business is so competitive. Business is so competitive that you need to be different. You need to position. You need to target your customer, right? So when we talk about segmentation, right? Again. We can only do segmentation once we understand our brand. Without understanding the brand, it's impossible for you to do your segmentation. There has one, I just want to share you my experience dealing with an entrepreneur. This is during our time we did the mass program. He was a licensed aircraft engineer. So he said that, okay, I want to actually do a business on rearing, dia kata free run, apa tu, ayam kampung lah, free the chicken, free range chickens. So dia kata, I want to do this business. I want to forget about the aircraft. I just want to do the business. So I asked him, okay, what are you doing now? He said, okay, I have 500 to 1,000 chickens. Yeah, 500 chicken. Say, okay, how do you do your business? I said, okay, what I do is that I actually bela, I yang sembelih, I also the one who sell it. Yeah. So because why? Dia kata because economic, because dia resources dia tak cukup orang. Right? But then again, I tell him who actually eat your chicken. Dia kata, oh, certain people who actually very careful on their diet. Do they eat chicken every day? Ayam kampung every day? Dia cakap, well, maybe 3 to 4 times a week lah. Maybe because it's more expensive. So I cakap, what you need to do now, actually, you need to segment those market, and you need to develop how big your market segment is. Yeah? And then you move into the targeting. How are you going to serve them? Right? I said, is it possible for you to serve them on your own? He said, tak boleh. Habis kuat only on that particular district. So I said, why don't you specialize? Why don't you position yourself as only the apa kita panggil penternak instead of actually doing everything. You position yourself as the breeder, kan? And then let somebody else actually take care of everything. So this is what we call segmenting, targeting, and positioning. Because why? You cannot do everything. So this is example, entrepreneurial example of actually how we do STP atau segmentation, targeting and positioning. Yeah, because you need to be known for what? As a breeder, peternak, or wholesaler, or a retailer. You cannot do everything. Right? You cannot do everything. So if you want to be known as the pengedar ayam kampung yang terbesar, you need to understand that you need to focus. You have your market segment and you target. Just do that. Positioning you dah ada dah. Biar orang lain buat. Yeah. So these are actually this is actually the process of segmentation. Now that is on the entrepreneur side. If you are into professional services, the same thing. You need to know. If you are a trainer, there's the same thing. All right, the same thing. You need to know what is your offering, what is your branding. You cannot be jack of all but master of none. All right, you are being known as everything, but you know people are a bit skeptical. You need to know who is your customer and what is your brand. What's your brand? Who is your customer? Segmentize and target that particular customer. And what's happening, in terms of professional services, is that people are cutting prices. You know, A offering 2,000, the other party offering 1,500. At the end of the day, this particular person offering 800, and you end up in a very red ocean. Because why? You did not actually understand your brand, your position. Yeah? So these are the things that we want to avoid. These are the things that we want to avoid. The next one is that when you have a position that you want to portray, a brand that you want to actually develop, it requires different set of capabilities. I know. This is one example. I know a trainer starting off because dia masuk jadi trainer, kemudian lepas jadi trainer, dia jadi consultant and whatnot. Of course, these are the progress lah, you know. These are the progress. Become trainer, consultant, at the end of the day, you become the so-called master trainer. You know, I say so-called master trainer because most of it actually is self. dia cakap dia master trainer, we accept lah dia master trainer. Now, the thing is like this, yeah. It's okay for you to do everything in the early part of your professional life or early part of your business. Alright, it's okay to do everything. It's okay for you to sell almost everything. Kuih, nasi lemak, mie goreng, it's okay. Doesn't matter. But then again, throughout time, you need to be able to determine which one is actually your star. Which one is actually your star in terms of high revenue, give you the highest revenue. But then you cannot actually develop that revenue because you do not have actually the resources to develop it, because you are so stuck, you are stuck with something else. Right? So what I'm saying is that, right, in order for you to focus on a certain market segment, to build your brand, you need to have what we call to develop capabilities. It's okay for you to do everything initially, but along the way, you become a specialist. You become a specialist. You create something, what we call it, capabilities, your own capabilities. Remember, they are capabilities and they are also what we call this competitive advantage. You have capabilities, there you need to be able to create competitive advantage or differentiation. Or low-cost producer. Of course, dalam business kita tak nak jadi low-cost producer. We do not want to be kedai RM2.30, the eco shop. Because it requires a lot of effort. So what do we do and how do we do it? We develop competitive advantage through our own capability. If you are good in selling unit trust, right, build the brand. If you are good in training, build the brand. If you are good in quality, build the brand. It's okay to do everything first, but then again, you need to specialize along the way. We can't be jack of all, master of none. Yeah. So when we talk about capabilities, we talk about competitive advantage, we must talk about sustained competitive advantage. All right. So because why? You need to differentiate. And then competitive advantage, we can imitate. Orang lain boleh ambil. Jual nasi lemak, jual nasi sebelah. jual goreng pisang cheese, dia jual goreng pisang cheese sebelah. So at the end of the day, you do not have those what we call sustained competitive advantage. What make you different? Your market segment tadi tu dah kena ambil dengan orang, right? So when we talk about capability building ni sebenarnya, I think I want to actually cite one example, Apple. Right? Apple has developed their brand as an innovation company. Yeah, they are actually known as company who have innovate, and they are known in terms of their punya brand equity. They have got brands, you know. It's not quality, equity. Everybody wanted to have Apple. Even kita nampak dalam kereta bahawa letak Apple punya stiker at the back of dia punya kereta, because why? They have the brand equity. Yeah. And we know that Apple have product quality. We know that Apple actually bank on research innovation. We know that Apple actually is a global present brand. Everybody trusts Apple. Everybody trusts Apple. So then again, we ask ourselves, how can I develop something like this brand as a business? Apple, dia ada iPhone, iPad, dia ada MacBook, Mac Air, they have got everything. Those are the sub-brands. But then again, their brand is consistent. Their sub-brand is consistent. Yeah, they're consistent. High quality, innovation, global presence, frequently updated, almost. Yeah. So how do we do that? Yeah. How do this is something that interesting to see later on. Yeah. Now, when we talk about sustained competitive advantage, we need to determine what is our excellence. Right? Because branding require excellence. Yeah, you want to develop your brand, you require excellence. All right? So when we talk about excellence, are you actually excellent in your operation? Are you excellent in your products or services? Or are you excellent in terms of customer intimacy? Which one? Can you have all? Yeah, it's better for you to have all, but then again, it's almost impossible for us to have all. Yeah, almost impossible for us to have everything. Yeah, I just ask you one question. Sometimes bila kita go away from our kita pergi outstation, we go outstation and then we actually we feel hungry, and then kita tengok kedai-kedai, all the restaurant, and we keep on, you know, ada yang sedap ni. But I will say from our research, 50% will go to something that they are familiar with or a restaurant they are familiar with. Dia akan pergi McDonald's, dia pergi KFC, dia pergi all the fast food. Sebab apa? Sebab dia tahu the food is, dia tahu dah, the food dia dah memang apa kita panggil, dah sama. Rasa dia memang sama. You feel burger dekat KL dengan burger dekat Kedah, all the same. They serve you within 3 minutes, 5 minutes, same. They treat you well, the same. Right? And you know their product. You know the product already. Yeah? So, if you can actually have that in your business, then it will be something that actually, apa yang kita panggil, something that is actually advantage. Advantage. So, we need to understand, yang pertama tadi tu, coming back, what the customer want from us, of course our brand tadi tu. Let's say katakan you are running your own kita panggil unit trust ataupun wealth consultancy lah, you're running your own wealth consultancy. You need to know what is your brand like, who is your customer. Some successful consultancy, they have their customer high net worth group of people. Dia tak pergi kepada orang lain, dia tak pergi buat ASB loan ke apa ke, you know, dia tak pergi kepada katakan yang depend on the KWSP. No, it's not their brand. They go for the high net worth people. And some goes for everybody. Pergi sini, pergi sana, pergi sini, pergi sana. Right? Because why? They didn't segmentize. So which one is better? You akan kata, tengoklah keadaan. Kalau ekonomi teruk, kita pun bolehlah mana-mana saja asalkan dapat target. But then again, you akan jadi penat sebab 10 sama dengan 1. You akan jadi penat lah. 10 jadi 1. 10 kecil-kecil ni jadi 1 yang you dapat dekat yang atas tadi tu. Segmentation. Right? Then value that you bring. The price, benefit, quality, of course, that is tied with your product tadi tu. And then of course, the value equate to the client perception, benefit. benefit versus cost. Kalau katakan dia ada, kenapa orang sanggup pergi makan restoran yang mahal, dia tahu bayar 30-40 ringgit daripada dia pergi kedai yang biasa bayar mungkin 18 ringgit, 12 ringgit. Why? Because the branding, the psychological apa kita panggil influence, the brand, the position is there. Kenapa kita bila kita nak habit birthday, pergi ke restoran-restoran yang mahal-mahal, tak pergi kedai mamak, tapi everyday pergi kedai mamak, because the brand of kedai mamak actually tells you that the brand kedai mamak brand biasa-biasa. You go to katakan TGI Friday ke, you go to Chili's, that one is brand something yang psychological impact, right? So then again, these are all branding, these are all perceptions. These are all brand development. These are all business development. So that's why I say we need to be careful. You need to be careful because when we have capabilities, right, we need to develop the capabilities into what we call core competence atau core competency that provide value, that develop our brand. Jangan buang masa in terms of doing everything. You will not go anywhere if you do anything. Now, in terms of core competence tadi tu, core competence came from the competitive advantage. I said just now come from core competencies. They come from core competencies. So core competencies is how your customer see you. Right? Combine in a way customer cannot easily quickly competitors tak boleh nak tiru. This is, I think, something that I always like to share. Once upon a time, this goreng pisang cheese punya, di demand goreng pisang cheese, ada yang sanggup sampai 2 jam beratur, sampai ambil nombor beratur and what not. But then along the way, because it becomes so generic, because you did not actually develop the core competency to develop something else, I said pisang cheese, competitor masuk. Right? Imitate your product. Do what you do. What happened after that? You cannot defend your territory. You cannot defend your segment. You cannot defend your brand. And then if you cannot do that, habislah. Tak adalah sustainability of business. Sekarang ni daripada dulu mungkin beratus goreng pisang cheese company. Now where are they? Now these are simple example that actually I wanted to share with you. Simple example that I wanted to share with you said that maybe nanti in whatever business that you do, you understand that, I have my brand, this is how my brand should look like, this is my core competency, my differences, right? And I need to defend the differences from my competitor. Right? Of course, and then the next one, able to exploit it across the businesses, just like what BMW, Mercedes is doing. Dia punya segmen, mula-mula just serta makan segmen, jadi expand lagi. Dulu orang tua je pakai Mercedes. Sekarang orang muda pakai Mercedes. A series, B series, A class, B class, nampak trendy. Dulu, Mercedes kita orang tua. So these are the things, they develop the brand. And it is something that actually kalau kita boleh emulate, kalau kita boleh imitate actually in the business, will be good. So when we talk about the impact of positioning, it is, I think, something that is very important. Sebabnya macam ni. If you cannot develop a brand, you cannot develop your product in terms of actually create the values for that, I think you will not be able to sustain. You will not be able to sustain your business. You need to be known as what? Your company need to be known as what? That is positioning. Especially dalam COVID-19 ni, post COVID-19 ni, people are going to slash prices just to actually keep afloat. Just to keep afloat, people will slash prices. People will sell everything. So when they start moving everything, what happens is that they hilang dia punya brand. Lose their branding, lose their own apa kita panggil identity. And people move away to look for something more, apa kita panggil credible. That's why branding ataupun businesses, yang pertama tadi saya cakap tadi, must be relevant to the customer, must be unique, Differentiation and be able to sustain, must be credible and attainable. Sebab saya cakap tadi, dia ada differentiation versus relevancy. What happened to Lotus is a very good example. Lotus built a very good car. One of the best in the world in terms of handling. What happened? Because they cannot relate to the customer. They cannot be relevant to the customer. It's a nice car, but then again, what is it for us? Right? What is it for us? This is we're talking about Lotus. So a very good car, competitive advantage, tetapi tak relevant to the market. You have a very good product, tetapi tak relevant to the market. You have a very good person, tak relevant to the business. So macam mana? So positioning, important, sebab without market positioning, without branding, you will not be able to sustain your business. So then moving forward, what should you do? Right? These are the steps. Actually, from my experience, I just wanted to share with you. The first one, don't jump. When you see a river terus terjun dalam sungai tu, tak tahu apa dalam sungai tu, dalam ke tidak sebagainya. First thing first. Alright, create your brand, create your strategic direction. Where are you going? Right? Now, once you know where you're going, then look at your surrounding. Right? Conduct the analysis, conduct market analysis, conduct industry analysis, conduct your own internal analysis. Mampu ke tak mampu ni nak menjadi macam ni? Sebab ramai juga orang bila dia create that, apa kita panggil hype di bisnes, the brand, tapi dia tak boleh nak deliver the brand. So we need to understand ourselves in terms of our product, ada ke tidak, okay ke tidak. The second one, in terms of our management capabilities, okay ke tidak. The third one, in terms of our finance, okay ke tidak. Last kali, in terms of our business process, okay ke tidak. Then we move on to the selection of the grand strategy and the business strategy. Right? What strategy do you want to actually develop for your brand? Apa strategi kita? Right? Kalau katakan kita strategi cater for this market segment, okay, how do we do kita panggil the engagement? Apa kita punya advertisement? Apa kita punya cara nak buat? So those are the things. Then the next one, in terms of actually the implementation plan. Now, a lot of company, a lot of businesses fail not because of actually it's a bad strategy, it is bad execution of strategy. Cantik dah dia punya brand, but then again, what happens is that they did not execute the plan according to the strategy. They did not translate it into action, and then get the right KPI for the measurement. Okay, you need to know your milestone. Kita sekarang ni apa kita nak buat? Okay, by first quarter, what do we want to achieve? Second quarter, what do we want to achieve? And remember, you need to measure result. Don't measure activity. Kita dah buat katakan 15 blasting dalam kita punya advertisement, masuk Facebook lah, masuk inilah, di social media. Berapa kali buat dah? Dia hanya kali. But then again, the question is, does that all ada outcome ke, ada result ke tidak? Kalau tak ada result, something is not right. Either you are going for the wrong market segment, or you may be actually positioning itu tadi tak betul. Alright, so these are the KPI. Maksudnya you need to measure the right thing. Lastly, right, be consistent, yet you need to be adaptive. Consistent, but then is flexible. Sebab tu dalam kita ada juga emerging strategy, kita panggil. This emerging strategy. Emerging strategy ni maksudnya apa? Kita dah buat kerja plan. Kita dah letak kerja branding position kita kat situ. Tiba-tiba something happen. And you need to be flexible because actually branding positioning ni bukannya something that is carved on stone. Right? You develop a different alternatives. Sebab kita panggil contingency plan. There must be contingency plan. So In a nutshell, I actually wanted to share with you. Yang pertama, right, in your positioning, is always about knowing the customer, knowing the competitor, knowing what and who you are. What is the product that you're offering, right? Kalau you nampak kat the slide saya itu, high price, high quality, it doesn't have to be that one. It doesn't have to be that one. Eco shop dulu apa? Low price, low quality. People still go. You know? People still go. Tak ada masalah. High price, low quality, gone. High price, low quality, gone. 1 tahun dah habis, tak ada cerita. Low price, high quality. Wow, low price, high quality. Dia takut dia from ada money laundering apakah, jadi washing machine kat depan tu. But then again, of course, depending on actually where in the grid that you want to be. Okay? Depending on the business. Kalau katakan low price, low quality, then your operation should be good. Eco shop ni memang terror, dia punya operation memang terror. Very good operation. So that's why I say hypermarket, contohlah, if you are running, you want to open a hypermarket ni, because margin is thin, you need to be highly efficient. The processes need to be good. Because the brand you develop tadi tu, kalau katakan you actually hypermarket, people expecting discount price, kan? Jadi I tengok tadi Maiden versus Jaya Grocer jual RM20. Kalau Maiden jual RM20, then people say, what is this? Maiden dan Jaya Grocer tak ada apa-apa pun. Tapi Maiden kata, kami pun dapat harga banyak ni, kami jual banyak ni lah. Right? So confused in terms of who is really their market segment. Jadi with that, I think that is the end of the slide, right?